This video is sponsored by Cashier.com. They compare iPhone prices on the internet and give you their instant quote and the most cash for your iPhone. Hey guys, this is Ed with Aquarium. So I tried to find something interesting for y'all to see. So therefore you see that question mark on the box, but what's inside is really claimed to have an octa-core processor, to be an unlocked phone, to have a 5.5-inch screen, possess 32 gigabytes of internal storage, which many of you know does not happen with real Apple iPhones, and also it comes in rose gold. So without further ado, let's get into it and cut the box open. Let's go ahead and open it up and see what it really looks like. So the box looks, of course it doesn't look real, but what else would you expect from this? So as always with some of these phones, you get an extra cable, it looks like, screen protector, and this time you actually get a case that is made in China. Surprise, surprise, that's where it comes from. The box looks somewhat similar, of course. It's actually flipped upside down, so 128 upside down here, but really that's how it should be. But it does not matter. We don't care about the box, we care about what's inside. Look at that. So this is actually very, very close to the real Apple's rose gold color. If you look at the back of the phone, looks very, very, very extremely similar. I think the only difference is what it says on the very bottom. There are some additional symbols that the real Apple iPhone devices do not have. They don't possess. So we're going to set that aside for a second. We'll turn it on, and I bet you the battery is going to be dead on that, so I'll have to come back in just a second to charge it up. Yep, and the phone is dead, so we'll be back in just a minute. So I gave it about 10 minutes on a real charger from Apple. So now we're going to turn it on, and I promise I haven't turned it on yet, so I'm seeing it for the first time just like yourself. And while it's coming on, let's go ahead and glance at what's in the box. Paperwork of unknown origin. Go ahead and open it up. It doesn't jump out at me like one of the other ones did. Look at the quality. I'm sure that the cable quality is going to be fairly flimsy. Battery just died. Did you hear that? Yeah, so it was showing, it looked like it was probably at 15%, which I'm going to charge it up more. But let's have a look at these. And the cable quality is obviously, as you can see, it's all wrinkly. Set that aside, and nothing interesting here, so just the standard stuff. So give me another second and I will get back with you. Alright guys, fake Apple iPhone 6s Plus from China. What does it have to offer? First of all, the time and the date is wrong. And also worth mentioning, this is a real charging cord by Apple. Very loose in there, not supposed to do this, supposed to fit just like so on the real one, nice and snug. Set that aside. And so I'm going to get into some of the more interesting details about this. So obviously we know that this is fake, so the only thing that I can say about this is buyer beware. This is not real. This is not what you want to buy. And then we're going to come back out, and I want to adjust the screen brightness and see how well that's going to work. That works pretty well. Not as bright as the real one, obviously. iCloud, obviously that will not be in there, so when you click on add account, Facebook, Google Mail, corporate account of some sort, probably mail for exchange protocol, nothing interesting. The Touch ID is guaranteed to not work, so let's add a fingerprint. That's not supposed to do that, and this somehow turns off the screen. Just restarted itself. Great. That must be a really new feature that comes on these Chinese iPhone clones. And in case I haven't mentioned, I have it plugged in through the real lightning cable by Apple. So far I'm not as impressed as with the last fake that I actually looked at in one of my videos. It was a Pink 6S. The build quality was a little bit better. There was no adhesive, none of these glitches were present, so I'm really not as impressed. But in comparison with this, the size is pretty much 100% match. Weight is probably a 99% match. So if you were on the metro somewhere or on the bus holding this in your hands, people would really probably think that it is a real one. Not that you would actually want to go for it, but given that it was slightly under $200, then that could probably be a solution for somebody who wants an Android for their phone, but definitely not the same picture clarity. If you look at the screen and in real time, this is a lot higher pixel density. So I'm gonna set that aside again. So it vibrates every time I touch it, and the vibration that comes from the motor is definitely not the same kind of vibration that you would get from a real Apple device. I'm tired. And next, let's go ahead and take a look at the way that the camera operates, and we're going to use our real iPhone to take snaps of it and see how quickly the camera operates. So if we go back to the pictures, the quality of the pictures, actually it's questionably blurry, but we're not going to get into details. And one more thing that I want to see is actually how it does the slow-mo. Let's go ahead and do it in landscape. That certainly does not work as a slow-mo. And then one more thing that I was going to look at is FaceTime, which this is really just to verify that it doesn't have real FaceTime. And what it really is that you see on your screen, all fake iPhones come with it. This is just a regular phone interface. So nothing new there. So let's go ahead and compare how the two of these close apps and see how much quicker the real iPhone does it. So we're gonna swipe up. So yeah, there's a little bit of a delay. It's kind of hard to judge because the layout is a little bit different. And just to kind of give you a hint, if you look at the fake one, the layout of the icons is slightly different straight out of the box. So that may be another hint to you when you're looking at one of these, thinking that may be a real one, but it definitely isn't. So all that stuff that's extra, you know, things like Facebook, is not supposed to come by default. So we can look at the clock, and no word clock there. So all it comes with is basically blank. You can just set it up for yourself. Alarms, no alarms, stopwatch. Very interesting. So looks like the real ones are made for somebody who's right-handed, and the start button is on the left here. So what I want to do next is I actually want to go ahead and reset it and see what that's going to look like once it's fresh out of the box. There you go, it's unmounting phone storage. One of the first signs it is an Android device running the iOS skin. Alright guys, so it says hello, it reset itself. This is what we see for the first time, or we were supposed to see for the first time when we took it out of the box, but we didn't. So we'll, as usual, choose the language, we'll choose a country with English, and so on and so on, and we'll eventually make it to that same desktop that we saw in the beginning of this video. Come into use. Great, welcome to the iPhone. Alright guys, that's it. So now we're at 12:01 January the 1st, and this is it for this video. So I would highly suggest against that. As expected, get a real one. even though it may be more expensive, so you might as well just go for the previous generation and get a 6 Plus as opposed to a 6S Plus, but get that instead of this. This is not a good choice. As always, thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel and I'll see you in my next review. I want to tell you about sellcashier.com. So you just got your new iPhone. What will you do with your old one? You may be thinking of selling it on eBay, Craigslist, and so on, and it is definitely a hassle. Now you don't have to do that. Now you can sell it through sellcashier.com. They compare the actual prices of iPhones and give you the best price for your iPhone that you are trying to sell, and the good thing is that you are guaranteed the best rate. You also get a free shipping label. Thank you for watching, and please check out sellcashier.com. Thank you.